Okay, so yeah, tonight we're going to be looking at the latest AI image and video generation tools. And as you'll see, they are indeed the very, very latest because, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, just yesterday a new tool came out, and the day before that another new tool came out. So you're seeing the latest stuff tonight. Okay, so here we go. So I'll go through this pretty quickly because you most of all have seen it, but the reason I got into AI was because I built an online community about 30 years ago, and in the days when the internet was just text and blue links. And because we were really different, and people would come across this and go, what the hell is this? Because it was in color and with animation and music and all sorts of stuff going on, sound effects. And what was good was that we started to get loads of people. We had 1,000 new members joining every day, flooding our chat rooms. And we had 100 chat rooms, and they were virtual reality chat rooms, as you can see. And we couldn't handle it. There was no way we could be in 100 chat rooms answering all the questions that new people ask. And I'd heard about AI, and I wondered if we could build an AI person or bot or chatbot to sit in the 100 chat rooms and simultaneously answer all the questions. And thus was born Mina up here, who became very popular because she developed a sense of humor and a personality, and had a lot to do with our success, because we grew to about 1.5 million members. And because of what we were doing was very revolutionary, we got a lot of international press at the time. And now, as many of you know, I'm back in the community arena again, with the community helping people learn AI. And I know quite a number of you are members, which is great. Thank you. So, the Harvard Business Review a couple of years back said AI won't replace humans, but humans with AI will replace humans without AI. And we're really starting to see that. And another quote that I like is, don't think of AI as your replacement, but as your creative partner or assistant. And we're going to see a lot of that today. Now, I just want to show you very quickly something someone showed me yesterday, which was how AI managed to come up with a slightly new kind of art form, which is nice.
Listen to the nature.
So I thought that was nice. All right, so the first area we're going to look at is images. And here's the tricky thing. You see, there's Ideogram, which some of you mentioned earlier when we were starting up. There's Flux Kontext, there's MidJourney, there's SeeDream, there's Leonardo, there's OpenAI, ChatGPT, there's Firefly, and at least 30 others. And the problem is, they all claim to be great. So how do you choose? How do you find out which is the right one for you? So we're going to take a quick look at some of these image generators. So Ideogram, its core strength is exceptional text rendering. A lot of the image generators out there, you ask it to create an image with some text in it, and you get hieroglyphics. Now, that is getting better in recent weeks. But for more than a year now, Ideogram has been the leader in the field in terms of doing highly accurate typography and a thing called style reference. And what that is you upload a reference image in this case, this painting, and you say, create an image of a man with a beard and red hair. Actually, you don't even have to say red hair because that's here. And you say, use the reference image. And so you get this. You get the picture of the man in this style. Now, it also recently, about 2 weeks ago, Ideogram added a feature called Character. And what Character is, you can upload a single image of yourself or a friend or anybody, and then have it appear have the background automatically removed and have it appear in all sorts of different situations and backgrounds. You put your own backgrounds, or they have a whole bunch of templates. And Ideogram is free for 160 images a month, and $8 for 400, and $20 for 1,000. And the free version, it's pretty good, but you can't upload an image as a reference, and it's slower to render the images, quite a bit slower than the paid versions. Now, telling you a little bit more about Character, I'm actually just going to play a video now from a seminar I did last week because I demonstrate what Character's about. So you see here we've got 4 characters, friends that I've uploaded, and this is how Character works.
And with Character, what you can do is you can upload headshots of your friends or whoever and make them a character. And then there's a lot of fun things you can do. So I'm going to show you a couple. So here, if you remember, we had this character, and we were able to put that character, no matter what angle his face was at or whatever, we were able to put him in a different background, in any background we like. So this friend of mine, I put him in a battle. And this friend of mine, I put her on a pirate ship. And I also put her on the front cover of a magazine. And it's fun because, as I say, it doesn't matter whether they're facing forward or sideways or whatever. The AI is smart enough to fix it around. And I'm going to show you a couple of fun things that you can do once you have these. So we're going to move on. So you can take, or at least what I did is I took that image that we'd taken the first part from Ideogram and then put it into another background. And then I took it into Runway. If you're not familiar with Runway ML, is a tool that can do a lot of different things, but one of the fun things it can do is it can take an image and turn it into a video. So this is what happened. With that one. And then there was another one. So you can imagine the fun you can have grabbing your friends and putting them in the most unlikely places and then writing and saying, hey, I really liked what you were doing in that battle in 1643. And they go, what? And then they look at it and flip out. Fun, huh?
So that's Ideogram. Now, Flux Kontext has an interesting function. Now, when this came out, it was kind of revolutionary. It was a few months back, but now more and more other companies are coming out able to do what this does. And what it was, if you've done a lot of video generation, you'll know that if you ask it to change something in the image, and you ask it to change a very specific thing, it will change that thing, but it'll also change much of the rest of the image. So you keep having to go back and forth trying to get what you want. But this handled that, because here's the original image, and you say, make the sofa red velvet, and it does that, keeps everything else exactly the same, which for us who use image generators a lot was a great relief. And then you can say, put a cat sleeping on and it does right there. And again, it keeps everything else the same. Change the window view to a snow forest. Again, keeps everything the same and just changes the window view. So that was a nice step forward. Now, I have a function called omni reference, where you can put up to 4 different images and say, combine them into the same image in some way that makes sense. And that's pretty good, works pretty good too. Although what came out yesterday kind of blows it out of the water, as you'll see. Kontext costs anywhere from about $7 to $30, depending on where you get it. And I'll explain that a little bit more later. MidJourney was the grandfather of image generation. It was the first one. And its core strength is it's incredibly good for fantasy-style images, very good for artistic flair, but less precise controllable than, say, Ideogram. It can be very realistic, photorealistic, but it takes work, and it takes also learning its own kind of language. It's got these funny little codes that you have to add at the end of your prompt to tell it what you want, which is a little bit of a pain. None of the others ask that at all. They all take just simple English. It has a section called Vary Region, which lets you edit specific parts of the image you've created. But it's not as polished as some others, but it's usable. So the output from MidJourney is highly stylized, very artistic. They have a very strong community, and it has strong aesthetic appeal. You'll see stuff being sold on Etsy that's just very dramatic and aesthetic, and mostly done in MidJourney. It's best for creative concept art, mood boards, cinematic angles, experimental visuals. It also has a thing called upscaling. And upscaling means when you get the image the way you like, and say you want to publish it, say in a professional magazine, and you need to have higher quality, upscaling will take your image and take it to the next level in terms of quality. And MidJourney used to be free, but now it's $10 a month. OpenAI, ChatGPT, they used to have an image generator called DALL-E 3, which I personally did not like at all, because it was highly stylized, it didn't follow prompts well, and text was just a bunch of hieroglyphics. But they upgraded it to ChatGPT Image Gen 1 a few months back, and it's very good, but it does take some work still, and it's very slow. Something that will generate 4 images in Ideogram in 30 seconds, after 3 or 4 minutes, you're still waiting for ChatGPT to generate the first image, or actually the only image that it'll do. And I usually get what I want from Ideogram on the first attempt, and way faster. Definitely not so with Image Gen, so I very rarely use Image Gen. But it is conversational image creation and editing. It's got in-painting and out-painting. In-painting means adding something. If we wanted to add a giant lizard here, that would be in-painting. If we wanted to remove this building, that would be out-painting. So you can select areas to remove and replace and regenerate with new descriptions. It's best for fast, simple, natural language edits, and it's integrated into ChatGPT for convenience. It tends to give a yellowish orange tinge to a lot of its images, not all of them, but quite a few. And it's kind of soft. It's not as sharp as some of the others. And it's either free or $20 a month, depending on which plan you're on. Leonardo is the other one that came out shortly after MidJourney, and it's very good. It's got a lot of its own models. There's one called Phoenix, another one called Photoreal, and they're their own custom models. Has fine control over style, layering, reference images, which we covered shortly ago. It can also make videos from its images. So if you work a lot in Leonardo, it's very convenient to then make it into a video. It's also the backbone model used by Canva, because Canva bought Leonardo 3 or 4 months back. It has in-painting and out-painting and upscaling. They're very generous with their plan. You can get 150 images a day for free. For $10 a month, you can get 8,500, which is pretty wild. But they also have some very expensive models that can be up to 16 times more expensive. I've never used any of them because I've never needed to. SeeDream is created ByteDance, the company that owns TikTok. And their core strength is advanced real image editing with strong ID IP preservation and instruction following. So what on earth is strong ID IP preservation, you ask? Well, here's a girl, and we say remove the background and change her top, and it does, and it also changes her hairstyle a little bit, puts it behind, but it's still very much the same girl. So strong ID preservation, or character consistency as it's also known. And then IP preservation, let's say your intellectual property is Target, and that's your logo, it'll maintain that when you change the background or change other parts. It has realistic photo editing and professional quality output. And you get 200 trial images for free, and the paid prices vary depending on who it's bundled with, but they're usually pretty low. Adobe Firefly, its core strength is it's built for professionals, because it's part of the Adobe suite, although you can get it separately, but it's still very expensive compared to the others. It has industry standard tools like generative fill, which is really their name for in-painting, and its integration with the full Adobe suite make it ideal for serious creative work. Excellent in-painting and out-painting capabilities. Free, they give you 25 compared to Leonardo's 150. And premium, you get 2,000 for $10 a month, and they also have $30 and $200 a month plans. Now, last week, Qwen, a Chinese company, came out with Image Edit. It's actually owned by Alibaba. And they improved the capability of changing anything in an image with a text prompt while keeping the rest of the image the same. So they had this image where they'd got a teddy bear, and they took the same teddy bear and with text changed him into all sorts of different situations and activities. But it goes a lot further than this because it's not limited to cartoon teddy bears. It can change anything. So we've got here a bunch of penguins, and we say add a welcome to Penguin Beachside. It keeps everything else absolutely identical and just adds what you want it to add, and it handles text just fine. If we wanted to remove this penguin, very easy to do. We could replace it with a giant squid, which I'm sure we're all very eager to do. You can swap backgrounds. You can try on clothes virtually. You can fix and change text. You can change your photo into avatars. You can say, here's the input image. You can say, give me the front view, and it will. And then you can say, okay, I've got this image here. Change the background to this or this, and it will very easily. It's free and does a good job. And up until yesterday, it was what a lot of people in the AI world were just very excited about, because it kind of almost gave us Photoshop capabilities for free. But then yesterday, actually I'll tell you the story. What happened was, during the last couple of weeks, this buzz appeared in the AI universe about Nano Banana. People were saying, what the hell is Nano Banana? Because it started appearing with no information as to who was behind it or what on earth was going on. So people were saying, what the hell is this? And trying it out and finding that its quality was extraordinary, and started calling it a Photoshop killer. And at Qwen, it can change anything with text, but the quality is a step up. So here, for character consistency, here's the actual character, and here's the same character from different angles, different expressions, but clearly still the same character. And here you take this image and you say, take her and have her holding the product, and you get that. And you say, Sam Altman changed his shirt, and it does. And then you say, take Michael Jackson and Billie Eilish and put them together in a photograph where she's taking a selfie of them both. It never happened, but it looks like it did. And this is available now. It actually became available yesterday, and it's part of Gemini. You can get it in Google AI Studio when you select the Gemini 2.5 Flash image model, and it's free. And here's a few more. put these two persons together on the beach in a natural way. And it looks very natural. Yeah, make it sunny and make her smile. So it does that there. And same here. Put her in, make her a matador in a bull ring. So it's kind of just opened the door to being able to do anything. You can upload your own images and change whatever you want, or you can have it generate the images, which it does to very high quality. So Nano Banana, like I say, kind of rocked the AI image generation world yesterday by enabling you to do what it would normally take an hour or two in Photoshop to do it in seconds with just a simple text prompt. It's wonderful, and it's free. Some honorable mentions. Runway ML, which we're going to look at in the video arena in a moment, but it also does very good image generation. Canva, which I'm sure you're familiar with, and which is mostly Leonardo, because they bought it. Now, OpenArt and Krea and FluxFace recently addressed the problem. Very often when you get an image of a person done by AI, it looks a little bit plastic, a little bit kind of not quite right. And although Nano Banana doesn't have that problem. But so these ones have addressed that. So now they do much more realistic photos. Image Gen-4 by Google is very good. Also available in AI Studio. And they just this week upgraded it to Ultra, and now Nano Banana. That question mark was here when I wrote this slide in the middle of the week before they released it yesterday. Qwen, which I showed you a few minutes ago. HiggsField Soul, it's very ultra realistic. Rev, it's very good. Sorry, I had to let someone else in, but I'm going to keep talking anyway. Meta, which is Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, they have some good stuff, but they're not really as active in that area. Now, there's a whole bunch of multi-software come out. You've probably seen them. And I recently wrote an article on LinkedIn and various other places about how really what they don't tell you, they tell you basically that you can have access to 50 or 100 different AI tools, like all the GPTs, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Grok, all the image generators, all the video generators, and a whole bunch of other stuff. You can have them all for $20 a month or even $10 a month instead of spending $200 or $300 a month. What they don't tell you is in most cases, these are watered down versions, because the companies that they got their capabilities from only gave them the features they were willing to give them. So to get the full features, you have to go to the real programs. However, amongst those multis, of which there are now 30 or 40, one that is really good for image generation is OpenArt. One that's amazingly good for videos is WaveSpeed, and Polio is also good. Krea is very good for various artistic tools, and HiggsField, which you're going to see in operation shortly, is extraordinary for special effects. Now, one of the things that happened was I get a lot of people saying, well, what's the best tool for generating images? Because a lot of people have trouble generating images and getting good results, although now it's so much easier to do. So I built a tool that basically compares the top 24 image generators in great depth and enables you to ask questions like talking to ChatGPT, and it'll ask you what exactly are you looking for, what do you need the images for, and it'll advise you on the best image generator for your particular needs. And that's in the AI Connection Club for you members. Now we're going to go and look into videos. And here we're going to get a lot more or show and tell, as you'll see. So once again, these are the kind of the top video generators. Google VEO 3, SeeDance, which is the same as SeeDream, which is ByteDance, which is TikTok. Kling, Chinese. Hailuo, Chinese. 1.2.2, Chinese. Runway. HiggsField. And MidJourney also does videos, as you know. So the problem here is, again, they all claim to be great. So how do you choose without having to test dozens of different video generators? Well, luckily, each has a superpower. We're going to take a look at the superpowers of each of these video generators. Now, just as an introduction to this, I'm just going to show you a couple of simple ways of turning images into videos. And these ones are actually fairly old. They're a few months old. And you'll see how far things have come as we progress. But they'll give you an idea. So here's an image created in Ideogram, where I just asked it to show me 4 badgers playing poker. And then I took that image and went into Runway and said, okay, now make that a video. So you see how Runway starts to zoom in and has the guys doing stuff with their paws and their heads moving. So it creates an instant video out of an image, which is kind of nice. And then another one, taking it a little bit of a step further, is Kling. So this is the initial image, again from Ideogram, of some aliens landing on a beach and texting each other. And Kling took the image and made it into a video and also added sound. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, that's the original image. Now, here's a situation where I had a client who wanted to show a runner holding a supplement, and this was the original image that Ideogram did. And then we took that image, and in Canva, you can say, okay, remove the pill bottle and change it into a frog on a leaf, or whatever you want to change in the image. And that's kind of fun to do. And I demonstrated that kind of more thoroughly a couple of weeks back. But you can also take that image and go into Kling and say, animate it. Now this might be a little bit jerky because Zoom tends to compress videos so that you can see them, but it's not as smooth as the original. So then we can say, okay, let's take that same image and see what SeeDance does. And SeeDance does something unique, which is going to be very useful for budding filmmakers. And you see, it changed the angle. It did a second shot, and we could have done 3 shots. I'll play it again. It's the same person from a different angle, and all from one prompt. And in my test so far, I've been able to get 3 different cuts in one prompt, so that saves quite a bit of time. Now, I'm going to show you something that Kling is not good at, and that is syncing audio to video. If you watch her lips, you'll see how really bad this is in Kling.
I'm running in the country, and I love doing so.
So can you all see how bad that is? Out of sync and holes in her mouth and all sorts of stuff. And actually, you're welcome to speak. I don't mind us having an interactive meeting. It doesn't have to be just me speaking. Now we're going to see what it's like when a tool that does lip sync really well does the same thing. And this is Google VEO 3.
I am running in the country and I absolutely love it. The weather is beautiful.
You see how much better that is?
I am running in the country and I absolutely love it. The weather is beautiful.
So VEO 3 is really great for adding text, and apart from Kling, which kind of does it badly as we saw, it's the only video generator that when you write your prompt and you tell it what you want the person to say and you want what sounds you want, or even if you don't, it'll produce synchronized sounds to your video, which saves a lot of time, and it does very good.
Tony.
Yes.
Hi, it's Frederick, in case you didn't know. So question on Kling and VO3, is this free versions or paid?
I'm getting to
What
that.
you showed us today.
I'm getting to that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Now, Runway Gen-4, I'll answer it briefly for Frederick. See, neither of them are free, but SeeDance is way cheaper, is the cheapest, Kling is the next cheapest, and VO3 is way more expensive. Except there are ways I will show later where you can get VO3 for a third of the cost, or actually a quarter of the cost. So now let's take Runway. Let's take that same image and put it into Runway and see what Runway does. And I put it in with no prompt at all, just to see what Runway would do. And it did a kind of fun thing. Not necessarily fun, but it just went ahead and did what it felt like. And you'll see that it actually, instead of having the person running towards us like all the other ones did, it turned her around and had her running away. Now, of course, if we'd prompted it, we could have had her do whatever we want. But the other thing that's very interesting about Runway is they introduced this new function a couple of weeks back called Aleph. And with Aleph, you know how earlier I showed you how you can change anything in an image to whatever you want very easily now and be very precise about what you want it to change and not change. That has now come to video, and stuff that would cost incredible amounts of money and time in professional video editing are now available to us for pretty much next to nothing. So in Runway, I took that same thing and I said, instead of being in a nice bright countryside, put her in a storm. And it changed everything except her and put her in a storm. And then I went to VEO and said, okay, now take that video and do your magic with sound. So we're starting to get a lot of control over what we can do. And I think it's the next slide. Yeah, now you're going to get an idea of what Runway Aleph, the thing I told you about, and it's spelled A-L-E-P-H. And it means something in Hebrew, and I forget what it means. But this is their promo video where they show you some of the capabilities, and it's pretty mind-blowing when you consider that this kind of stuff would have cost a fortune and taken weeks to do.
Aleph is the first letter of the alphabet.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. So you can see the days of really expensive special effects are behind us. Aleph charges about less than $1 per video. So we're entering a very interesting creative world and time. Now, Google VEO3, which is the one I showed you before that adds audio automatically, its core strength is integrated synchronized audio, dialogue, ambient noise, and sound effects, including music, making it one of the few tools that give you a complete audiovisual output in one go. As I mentioned, Kling does, but not very well and not synchronized, as you heard earlier with the aliens. And there are a couple of other tools last week threatened that they're just about to come out with their versions that add audio, so we'll see. But the bar, Google has set the bar pretty high. Excellent quality. It's integrated with accessible platforms like Canva. But because of its expense, you only get 5 videos per month of VO3 with Canva. I'm going to show you a little bit later how to get 3 a day. But the most expensive by far is Google VEO3. It's $4 to $6 for a 5-second video, but way less via the other routes that I'm going to show you. SeeDance, which is ByteDance, which is TikTok. This is the one where we showed the runner running towards us and then cut to the side view. And this is unique so far amongst video generators, multi-shot storytelling, cutting between scenes within a single prompt. So for instance, in this scene, she's got her hand stroking the horse. Here she's thinking about something. Here she's petting the horse again. And here she's on her phone. And these are 4 different scenes within the same video. Excellent quality, the least expensive, something like 18 cents per 5-second video. In that multi-user one that I mentioned before called WaveSpeed, instead of $3 to $6 for VEO. Kling, its core strength is a thing called the multi-elements tool, where you can take, actually it's got a couple of things. It's got really fine control. It allows you to upload up to 4 different images and say, put them together in the same video, or 4 different videos and put them together in the same video. So here we have somebody skiing, and here we have a coffee cup, and it produces someone skiing with a coffee cup in their hand, which we can make smaller, of course. And then here it has the person skiing in the coffee or into the coffee. Normally we'd use it for something more sensible, but it now enables you to remove, insert, or swap elements between videos. It also specializes in a lot of transitions with multiple realistic camera moves, where you can say zoom in, pan, zoom out, etc. And you can add audio. And it's about $1 per video, so it's not too bad. Hailuo 202. Now the thing that is special about Hailuo is it's fantastic for physical, realistic, lifelike motion. A lot of you may have seen stuff where people in videos might be doing a somersault or doing some gymnastics, and it looks horrendous and their limbs get all twisted and squeezed together. Hailuo is extraordinary. In fact, there's been a video that's gone viral of this cat running along a swimming board and then doing triple somersaults into the water, and the physics is absolutely perfect, and they've done circus scenes and all sorts of stuff with gymnasts, and it looks phenomenal and very realistic. And again, it's also, like the last one, it gives a lot of control over camera angles on how the camera moves or shifts focus. Now this one, a lot of them are 720p, which is standard definition. This one is high def, 1080p, and up to 10 seconds and 24 to 30 frames per second, so we're getting more into professional quality videos with advanced character consistency and cinematic fidelity. And the cost is really good, like less than 30 cents per video. So it's for creators who want to direct dynamic shots, think sweeping pans, zoom-ins, or complex camera choreography, all from a simple interface. 2.2. This one is open source, which means it's open to the public and you can get it freely and modify it if you're a programmer and improve it and do all sorts of stuff. And its standout ability is to train new styles to create consistent branding or character design across videos. Although, like I say, in the last couple of weeks, we've had tools come out where you can do that now with one image. And it runs efficiently even on consumer graphic processors. So you can actually run it download it and run it on your home computer where it'll cost you nothing. So you use it to generate images and videos of custom characters or styles with greater control and detail from a few reference images. And it's about 20 cents per 5-second video. Now, we're going to take a look at Aleph, which we looked at already. but just a bit more detailed. So it can add rain, crowds, or anything you want. It can remove objects, replace backgrounds without a green screen, can change the lighting at altering persons or objects within a video, e.g. make her look old. Stuff, again, that used to cost a great deal of money. So here we got this guy, and we said give him more hair and put him in the desert. Or take the same guy, put his hair back and put him in a molten lava. And these are videos. And then Act 2, if you've ever seen movies on the making of Avatar, you'll see that the characters were people, real people, with tons of little pressure pads and sensors all over their bodies and their faces, capturing every nuance of their performance and their motion. Very expensive, millions of dollars for a few seconds. No more, because Runway's Act 2, you can upload your own video doing and saying whatever you want, and it will translate that into a video it will create that is whatever you ask it to be. So it's just absolutely phenomenal. Complete. The stuff that's now available to us is extraordinary. It has outpainting, so let's say you took this on a mobile phone, but you wanted the rest of the boat here, but you didn't have it. It'll do that. It'll make it into a landscape image and outpaint it. It'll do upscaling to 4K, which is very high quality. It will lip sync to your audio file. It will extend your videos up to, I think, 21 seconds. It's got camera controls like some of the others. It lets you upload up to 3 reference images to guide visual consistency in characters, environments, or styles across scenes, which ensures the same look and feel across different lighting, angles, and shots, solving major continuity challenges in AI video generation. So all the things that like a year ago were major problems for those of us working in video have all been solved, and way more than solved. They've given us capabilities we didn't dream of. Now, Runway can be expensive because you can result in a lot of wrong generations, not getting exactly what you asked for the first time. So these are quotes on Reddit, so you have to be prepared to spend a lot. And Runway, when it's working, its Act 2 is 30 cents per generation instead of millions of dollars. It's quite a bargain. And Aleph, the one that enables you to change whatever you like in the video, is less than $1 per generation. And that one works pretty well first time through, sometimes second time through, but it's really fun to play with. MidJourney, it's really best for users who already have a MidJourney subscription for image generation, the $10 a month one, and want to animate their existing images, because it's not the best quality in terms of video. Like the others, it allows you to import a starting frame and an ending frame and then tell the AI to create what goes between those. Yeah, it goes up to 21 seconds. And it offers low motion and high motion options in terms of how fast you want the action to be in your video. Weaknesses can be a bit laggy and not as smooth as some of the other video generators. Yep, I've seen that. Can be slow. One video took 8 minutes to generate. That is really slow. So with MidJourney, it tends to cost about 27 cents per video, so it's not too bad. So the recommendation for that is use it if you have credits left from your image generation subscription. HiggsField, this is a fun one. This one, the other ones that have camera motions, they give you maybe half a dozen, maybe 8 different camera motions. This one gives you more than 60 controllable camera moves like crash zooms, dolly shots, crane shots, drone footage, whip pans, fast zoom, and even bullet time, the stuff that you saw in The Matrix. And they're so easy to apply, you just literally click on the one you want and it adds it to your video. So it's ideal for delivering dramatic, visually striking edits with ease. And they're all presets, which I say makes it so fast and easy to use. 80 plus visual effects that going molten liquid, setting yourself on fire, another molten liquid one, explosions, I don't know what this one is, but oh, you're getting punched in the face. They've got 80 different effects that you can just click on and have that happen to you or whoever's in your video. With 100th of the cost that it would normally cost to have special effects in your video. And it has many other features. It has upscaling, in-painting, multi-reference images like the other ones do, UGCs, which are user-generated. I don't even remember what the C is for, because I don't use UGCs. I belong to a mastermind where their passion is making UGCs, user-generated content. So it makes it very easy to create that, and that's where you create imaginary AI people, and they say wonderful things about your product. And they make it very easy to make those in HiggsField. It's very good for avatar lip sync. It has action presets, so if you want somebody to do a high kick or jump or whatever you want them to do, it's got dozens of action presets. You can even put yourself in iconic movies or styles. You could put yourself in the sequence on the Titanic where they're standing at the front of the boat going, "I'm the king of the world." It's wild. HiggsField is a lot of fun. And then recently, where Aleph, with a prompt, you say what you want to change in the video. With HiggsField, you just draw or you type onto the video what you want. And you'll actually see this one in a minute. So you say the newspaper is on fire, and suddenly the newspaper's on fire. Gorilla runs out and extinguishes the newspaper. So anyway, HiggsField is probably the most fun to play. That and Aleph are the two most fun to play with. Now here you're going to see, this is Caleb from Curious Refuge, a very good YouTube channel on AI video. He's going to show you a few things about HiggsField.
So the first big tool that I want to talk about is a new feature inside of HiggsField. So if you're not already familiar, HiggsField is an online AI tool company that does everything from AI video generation to specific VFX shots that follows certain presets and templates, and essentially they can get pretty wacky. Their brand new tool is called HiggsField Draw, and essentially it allows you to draw and define what you want the action to be inside of your AI video, and HiggsField will do a pretty good job at adhering to the drawing that you put inside of your video.
Now, there are some video companies that will create a whole video just from a single prompt, where it just creates a whole 2 or 3 minute video with all the different scenes, all the different videos and or images and narration and music and special effects and titles and everything. And the one that I like the best is InVideo. You can just say, okay, create a video of the pros and cons of AI in art, and it'll create the whole video. And you can modify and edit any parts that you prefer to use something else, and it's really good. Veed does the same kind of thing, but InVideo for me is the best. CapCut now, the free CapCut video editor, has this capability built in, but it's not really quite up to the quality of InVideo. Same with Descript, has this capability, but again, it's just not the same. HeyGen have been teasing us. They're the guys who do the incredible avatars where you create a video avatar of yourself who then does your talking and your videos for you. And they're really fantastic now. But they've been teasing us with their new version of their competitor to InVideo, where you're going to be able to create complete videos with your digital twins and other things in HeyGen. I'm on the waiting list and I can't wait, but I have to. Pictory claims to do the same as InVideo, but in my experience, it's just not even close, quality-wise. The choices of videos it comes up with, 9 times out of 10, you go, what were you thinking? What's that got to do with what the script says?
I have a question. Yeah. The videos maker that you were talking about so far was 5 seconds, 8 seconds max. And now you're talking about the full video time with those ones?
Yep. But what they're doing is the 5 seconds and the 8 seconds and the 10-second clip, they're single clips. What these other ones that I mentioned here is they're putting whole bunches of different clips together. Each of the clips are probably no more than 5, 8, or 10 seconds. but they're putting bunches of different clips together to make a full movie.
Okay, so you would need to make a video background of a song, you would need to make individual 5 seconds video you're talking about?
Yeah.
Sorry, Tony, I have a question on the video. So when you say, the cost per video, is that the iterations of the edits, or is that one shot and then a second round of edits would be your second video? Or is it the downloaded version of your video?
The problem is it's different for every company. They all have these different systems of working things out. So in some cases, either of those things are true. It really depends. I'm just wondering if I should show you a video that will give you an idea, because you mentioned a music video. Would you like to see a music video that somebody made recently, where what they did is they wrote the script and then they had ChatGPT improve the script, and then they put it into a music generator called Suno, which wrote the music, and they said, make the song like Robbie Williams. So it made this song like a Robbie Williams song. It played all the instruments and it sang the song. And then he took that and put it into Google VEO 3 and said, make a video, make the music video. And it did all the music, all the videos, and put them together into a complete 3-minute song. Would you like to see that?
Yes. Which one that he put the video, the Google video?
Yes, like to see it.
Okay. So I'll open up a different one. Okay, yeah, it's this one. Now, it's not going to be as smooth as what it actually is because of the way Zoom compresses stuff. So remember that this is all AI, except the original lyrics, but they've been improved by AI.
He lost the fight, he lost the flame. He watched his world go up in shame. Empty streets, a shattered name. No one left to call his name. But somewhere deep beneath the scars, a whisper rises from the dark. You're not the sum of all you've done. You're still the light, you're still the spark. You are not your body, not your pain. You are not the thunder or the rain. You are the spirit standing tall, even when you lost it all. You can rise, you can believe. There's a soul that doesn't leave. When you think it's over, it's not the end. You can be reborn again. He wore his sins like heavy chains, tried to hide the stains, but truth comes softly, not with might. It tells you you can find the light. The mirror lies, the past will bend. This broken road can start again. You're not a ghost inside the shell. You're something timeless, something well. You are not your body, not your fear. You are more than every tear. You are the voice behind the sound, the one who gets back off the ground. You can rise, you can believe. There's a soul that doesn't leave. When you think it's over, it's not the end. You can be reborn again. So take the fall and take the night. Let the silence hold you tight. Even in your deepest doubt, the real you is breaking out. You are not your body, not your shame, not your loss, not your name. You are the wind that learns to soar, the love that's always wanting more.
So compared to what was available a year ago, video has come a long way. So I can't imagine what it's going to be like in a year from now. So I'm going to go back to the other presentation.
This one I understand that Google VEO 3,
Yeah.
I don't need small video altogether, 5 seconds altogether. It's creating the entire video, like 3 minutes video.
Yeah, it's all the different scenes, each one created by Google VEO 3, and then put together in something like the free CapCut video editor.
Okay, this is multiple,
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to where we were.
Give me hope.
Good. Let's see. Okay. I'm not going to go into all the details here. If you email me, I'll send you these slides because it would take too long to go through all the different prices. But these are the average costs for a 5-second video for the different videos. And they vary anywhere from 9 cents to $6. Or if you use Google VEO 3 in WaveSpeed, you get it for $1.25 to $2. And if you use it in the way I'm just about to show you, you get it for even less. Yeah, Manus, which is a super powerful competitor to ChatGPT. It's what I use for research. It's phenomenal. Manus says WaveSpeed appears to have the most competitive pricing, and it compared all 25 of them for me so that I could build my tool. But then there's Google Vids. Google is really starting to take over the whole image and video area. Yeah?
Can you hear me? Yeah, what was the tool you said you're using for research?
Manus.
Manus? Okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah. So Google Vids is included in Google Workspace. And I don't know too much about Workspace, except I do have a Workspace account. I know it costs me $8 a month, but I know that I found out that it includes Google Vids, which I didn't know before. And it can create VEO 3 videos for way cheaper. Whereas Canva, you get 5 per month. In Google Vids, in Workspace, you get 3 per day, which is like 90 per month. And actually, they say 3 per day, but I did 4 the other day and it didn't complain. And the other thing is it can edit them as well. So when you open up Google Vids, it says that you want to create a video clip with VEO, and you tell it what you want and it creates it. Or you can plan out everything and have it give the outline and, basically the outline of your story. You can record yourself. You can upload stuff and create videos from that. It's got a whole bunch of video templates already in, which you can pull in and then modify. You can import slides, or you can just start from scratch. And in the editor, you can trim or split the clips, you can reorder them, you can add transitions, add text and captions, add narration, or choose background music. It does all the basics. And it's fast, very fast. And you can cut to scenes. And like I say, 3 a day instead of 5 per month. They say it's going to be available at these prices up until May 2026. So we got some time. Now, when you go in there, let's say you create your first clip, then you click plus, and you can create your second clip, and then click plus again and create your third clip. And then if you click in between there, you've got all these different transitions that you can put between the clips. So it's a very, very nice way to be able to use Google VEO 3. A couple of quick tools. Every now and again, some of the free video generators, they will put a watermark on your video unless you pay. Most of them these days don't, but some of them do. But vMake has a lot of tools, and one of them is a video watermark remover. So it'll remove those watermarks. There's another tool called enhance.ai, which is really good for enhancing the quality. Now, I've got a question, and you can either use the chat or your microphone to answer this question, because this will depend on whether I do the next couple of slides or not. Is there anybody here who doesn't know about the AI Connection Club? Nobody? Huh, okay. So I don't really need to go into the next. Oh, thanks, Kim. Yeah, but if there's anyone who doesn't know about it, then I'll do the next couple of slides to let you know about it. But if everyone already knows about it, I don't need to do that. Yeah, this is it in case there's anybody who doesn't know about it and don't want to speak up. But it's basically to help you learn AI simply and quickly and in English instead of tech speak. And I'm not even going to go through these since I think you all know about them. But it has a lot of fun things to do, and we're always adding new things. And it has a lot of tools already built in that normally cost a lot of money, but they're built in. Like Author's Ally for helping authors, and Musician's Career Guide, and many, many others. And Image Alchemist that I mentioned before. The AI Author's Magic Toolbox does researching, outlining, proofreading, writing, editing, market research, marketing campaigns, creating marketing materials, and a lot more. If you want a copy of the slides, that's my email address, trockliff@gmail.com. And if you want a free AI coaching session, email me at the same email address. So now I'm going to throw it open to, you can turn your mics on or use the chat and ask any questions you might have. And Frederick will answer them all for you.
I do have a question.
Oh no, you're supposed to be answering the questions, not asking.
Well, that's too bad. I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
For putting me on the spot. When it comes to Ideogram,
Yeah.
I've had very mixed results with it. About 6 months or so ago, where it took me, I can't tell you how many prompts to get even something remotely close to what I was asking for, and I could never get it to get exactly what I was going for.
That's interesting.
It's been upgraded since then.
Well, it has, but that's actually the opposite of most everything I ever hear about it, plus my own experience. It really does come down to the prompting, but it also has prompt enhancement, where it'll take your prompt, no matter how poor it might be, and it will enhance it. It's reached the point where now, I'm not kidding, I'd say 98 times, 90, maybe 95 times out of 100, I will get exactly what I want on the first time I try. Maybe 5 times out of 100, I'll have to give it a second try, but no more than that.
That's completely, my experience has been like the opposite of yours. It's flipped, so I'll have to re-examine it.
Yeah, re-examine. They're at version 3 now, which is really good and very prompt adherent.
Yeah, even 6, 7 months ago, I used ChatGPT to create a custom GPT to help me. I told it to analyze ideograms, data, and user manual recommendations, other people's recommendations, to create a custom GPT to take my prompts and make them so they would be more likely for Ideogram to create what I wanted, and it still didn't go.
That is really, really strange. But since then, they've gone from version 2 to version 3. And one of the things it's most well known for is prompt adherence, meaning does it deliver what you ask for? And it really, really does. So experiment. Yeah?
What he's saying, because I don't hear at all what he says. I just hear you answering.
Yeah, he's very quiet.
Can you hear me okay, Tony, or no?
I have to turn my volume way up to hear you. But Marley, he was saying that for Ideogram, he has a hard time getting it to deliver what he wants, which, as I say, is the opposite of my experience and most everyone I know. Moving on, Patrick says, may we have a list of the various sites presented during this fantastic presentation. Thank you, Patrick, for the fantastic presentation part. I honestly haven't had time to make a separate list, but if you ask for the slides, every one of the items there is named, and in most cases, the URL is just either .com or .ai with the name, so it's kling.ai.
Tony, I have a question, please. So I find that I use my phone a lot more for AI, ChatGPT, and like quick little things that I want to do, turn a photo and edit it and that kind of thing. Am I losing out much by just using the app version of these versus the URL?
I think you're very brave. I wouldn't try doing this kind of stuff on a phone. There are people who do and they make it work, but you just got so much more control when you're doing it on a laptop or a desktop.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I salute your bravery.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's much more mobile. I'm much more mobile with my phone than I am with, and like you're waiting somewhere, you just pick it up.
Yeah, it's difficult to put your desktop in a backpack and walk around with it.
Can you hear me any better now?
No.
Not really. What are you using for a microphone, if anything?
It's part of my headset, or it's supposed to be.
That explains it. They are notoriously awful.
Okay, I'll have to.
Yeah, get yourself a microphone.
I will.
Good.
I even don't have a microphone. I just have my laptop and it's a microphone, integrated microphone. And I think you should hear me well, right?
Yeah, we also hear a lot of your room, but it's okay. Certainly better than a headset.
Tony, another question for you. I think I asked this before in terms of it's great to have all those tools, but I find that I become overwhelmed because there are so many of them, and then time goes by and you go to work and you forget. And so are you planning on putting like some sort of like class together where there would be like a component of instruction, a component of practice, and then a component of sort of like, maybe coaching or mentorship through projects?
Yeah, we've actually had, in the last month, we've had 2 of those where people in the community, they put their questions into the community, and then I answered all those questions and demonstrated those programs. We're going to have those from time to time. But also, there's a section in the community where we've broken down the key ones. There are 60,000 tools out there. How many do you actually need? Maybe 6. And we've broken down the most important ones and done 5-minute starter videos for those most important ones. And we'll continue to do that and add more. But there's going to be at least 1, maybe 2 sessions a month where we just answer people's questions in terms of what they actually want to learn and what they want to see demonstrated. For sure. By the way, one of the good things about a tool like WaveSpeed, which is $10 a month and gives you access to most all the video generators and image generators, is you can very inexpensively try them all and see which is the one that really works best for you. And then you go and subscribe to that one because you know that's the one that's best for you. Because what's best for you may not be best for Frederick or whoever else, because everybody needs different things.
Hey, Tony, I got a question.
Hey, Dan.
You mentioned Etsy, and I think Ideogram, however you pronounce it, makes such incredible images. Do you see a lot of people making Etsy products using Ideogram?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And people are selling AI art on Etsy and selling it to stock media libraries and even selling for millions of dollars at Sotheby's. Any other questions before we wrap up?
No, I just had a comment, as I sort of like look at the amazing power that AI has and stuff like that. I'm wondering, how can I recognize like something that is genuine now versus something that is AI? Are there like some telltale sort of like signs? Because, pretty much, so for example, you showed the image of like Michael Jackson and I forget her name.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing. I mean, anybody can create anything that they want, and it's perfectly believable.
Yeah, they're starting to build in what they call guardrails. And there are tools now. I think Google has brought one out where you can ask it, is this AI or is it real? And it'll tell you. But they're also starting to require that images put into what's called the metadata, the data behind the image, whether it's AI generated or not. Amazon has already implemented that. And YouTube has already implemented that. When you upload a video, you have to say, does it contain AI content?
So if I insert myself into some Forrest Gump scenes where he's inserted himself already, it'll know.
Yes. Is this something you're planning? Okay, thank you all very much for attending. Was this useful? Was it something you can use?
It was great. It's a bit overwhelming, but thank you. It was very good. There's so many tools out there, and when you just do like a chat search or a Google search, you're left with like this very long list that by the time you've done the research on trying to find the list and trying to find the one, you've expended so much time that you no longer have the time to do the project that you were thinking of doing.
Yeah, understood. That's why I'm
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, you're very
welcome. Thank you so much, Tony. I was looking for a while and found that I was getting completely behind in the curve of what all the new tools were that came up. I thought, instead of me trying to learn it, I'm going to wait for the next Tony Rockliff masterpiece and hear this. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Herman.
Thank you so much, Tony.
You're so welcome, Marley and Claudine.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you, Tony. Absolutely gobsmacking as usual.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm just saving the chat and then I will close down the meeting.
Thank you. It was excellent.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to close it down now. Thank you so much for being very attentive and very pleasant audience.